we're talking Bible, we're talking this. Well, there's other religions in this experience that we have. So how does that equate to all of this? Like you mentioned Timothy, where I've forgiven all. Like I don't know the exact quote, but all men were forgiven before the world was even created. You know, and all this came.
Yeah. See,
to plan. Like how's it? Well, I have to tell people about the Bible. I have to tell people about Christ. You're saying you don't have to do anything. Right?
Listen, all we're doing is throwing this thing out there because obviously you don't hear this every day, and here I am. You know, I'm 61 years old now, man.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know, I mean,
and
to me, I look back. It's just sad, you know.
Well,
I mean, I'm.
Well, you're here, and you and I were chatting, and we're like, look. Some may be willing to have an open mind and hear it. Some may not. And we're not here trying to convince anybody. And by the way, Dan and I haven't talked about every aspect, but what he shared when I heard this is like, it kind of answers some of the questions I had that just didn't feel like the dots were connected.
Right.
And maybe that's what you're feeling now. And if so, great. That's a nice burden to have released.
Right.
But it's also a reprogramming of how we look at our daily adventures and how we go about in this worldly journey we call life.
Right. I mean, we just talked about some stuff. It's
much more. This is a brief, yes.
Okay. What I'm saying is that, and there's people out there that know much more than I do. Mm-hmm. This is the thing. I mean, people think, well, it's the gospel according to Dan. Yeah, like I'm the only one. Listen, there's people out there that know what I know. They're just not sitting in a church pew, okay? Because they came out of that. They can't sit and listen to that stuff anymore. But what I'm saying is that there's people
they
out
can't sit
there.
and listen to it because that's the old law, and that died on the cross.
Right? They just
It's like
they can't listen to that
begging
message
for forgiveness
anymore.
after you've already been
They
forgiven.
just can't sit under that anymore.
Yeah.
But there are people out there that know this better than I do, and they know it's bigger than what I know, and they can articulate it so much better than I can. You know, I don't know.
We just felt like sharing it and having a chat.
Yeah.
And that's it, right? So.
And that's kind of what this is, man.
Right.
But it's been an amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's been an amazing. I can't even tell you.
Well,
It's
I know
just been an amazing thing.
when you shared these concepts and more that we'll probably dive into at another time, I had some questions, right? I was like, wait a second. What about this? What about that? What about this? What about that? And if you're watching this, you probably have some questions too. Like, okay, well, I get it. But here's some questions that I have as some follow-up. So here, if you're watching this video, post your feedback, post your comments, post your questions. And what this is Dan, as you said, I'm not even associated with Dan. Like, this is just me sharing a message that, me through this vessel felt like sharing. And this is not going to convince people.
Yeah, this is another thing I'm going to say. What happens to us is we need chapter verse.
Right.
Okay? We got to see it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't give me chapter verse.
Right.
No. Listen, this is the difference between here's one more difference between the old covenant and the new covenant.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? We're supposed to be hearing today.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And that hearing should just be natural.
Right.
We should be hearing God. It's just like turning in a radio station.
Frequency.
Yeah. And we think the problem is we're frightened of that because hearing, what if we're hearing the devil?
Mm-hmm.
What if we're hearing the bad guy?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, if you're hearing the bad guy, it means you're not believing the bad guy's dead.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because he said, I've come to destroy the works of the devil.
Mm-hmm.
What are you trying to do? Tell me he failed?
He being
Is
Jesus.
that what? Yeah, what?
Jesus failed? Right.
You're trying to tell me Jesus failed?
Yep.
Is that what you're trying to tell me?
And it's up to you now, to save and finish the work of Jesus. That's a big burden to carry.
It's kind of like Jesus went And he did it all, but we're saying, now we gotta take care of the unfinished.
Almost.
We gotta take care of the unfinished business of Jesus.
It's on my shoulders.
We gotta we're bringing them into the kingdom.
Yeah, it's on my shoulders.
And so people think they're getting saved because, the church says, well, if you do this, this, and this, there's my salvation.
Mm-hmm.
Well, really, the truth is what they're doing is just coming into recognition of the salvation that was done before the world began.
Mm-hmm.
And see, so man operates off this outward, they operate off of what they see.
Mm-hmm.
I just got saved.
Mm-hmm.
And I just got saved because I did this, and this. And now I'm saved. And I'm saved because they told me this is how salvation takes place.
Mm-hmm.
And so, since they're not seeing that happening with people,
Mm-hmm.
they think they're not saved. And so they're going to the bad place.
Mm-hmm.
Because they still believe the bad place is still alive.
Mm-hmm. So when you wake up and you're like, all right, Father, I'm excited to see what's in store for today, what's on the agenda, and use me as fulfilling that this journey, right? And that's it. And just be, right? That's just be. It's a much easier
all we're supposed to be doing is walking in peace and rest.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way we can do that is stop believing in what our eyes are telling us, because our eyes are lying to us. That's what's going on.
So accept
It's not that I don't understand. When I look out there, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I get it.
the judgment.
But you know what he said? He says, what's that got to do with you?
Mm-hmm.
Those are all the cares of the world.
Mm-hmm.
What in the world? I brought you into peace and rest. Don't you think I got that? I created it. Don't you think I understand it? Don't you think I know it? Really?
Yeah.
So really, this whole thing is about us believing in the thing we say we believe in. And the truth is, when I look back at my life, I had to say, guess what? I can say it all I want, but I don't really believe in him.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why is because I still think I got to do something.
Right.
And it's complete unbelief.
Well, the judgment of the world, the judgment of others, the judgment of ourselves, the right and wrong, goes back to the good and evil. And there's that ingrained indoctrination that we've had our entire life, even since children, in our households, in schooling, in society. Right, wrong, bad, good. And removing that judgment internally, and then being able to remove it externally. And I catch myself throughout the day. Well, for instance, there's what I would label as, ooh, that's sad. There was a group of children going from Mississippi to Orlando to Disney World, and in the van, it got run over by a tractor trailer, and 8 young children were killed from a church on the way to Disney. And then I thought of our conversations, and it's like, man, what kind of God would do that? Is it a common question? And I thought,
absolutely.
well, God, Father, I don't understand how and why.
Hey, if
like
you're
that
asking me that question, I don't know why.
Right.
But that's what the rooms are about.
Yeah.
I prepared a mansion. Here's the rooms. I'm going to walk you through the next room.
Yeah.
This is what that was.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So what
think
am I
like us,
doing
right?
now? The only thing I can do is because if I say I believe in God, then all I can do is trust Him in that thing.
Yeah. I don't understand it.
I'd be going, well, if I was God, I wouldn't be having that happen.
Right.
Absolutely, who wouldn't?
Right.
But what I'm saying is I tell people all that, listen, what's going on is man with his pea brain is looking through a peephole and he thinks he knows something.
Right. Yep.
Listen, I don't know.
So you can still have the emotions. You can still feel the sadness. You can feel, and say, Father, I don't understand this. And even stuff happened to us. I don't understand why this is happening to me.
Right.
Yet I trust your will, your guidance, and
listen. He wants us to feel all of those things.
Yeah.
He wants us to feel all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's part of living. It's called living.
Yep.
Okay? And right.
So the way I see this journey, it's a brief journey. Like they call it a tent or something. Like this is a brief journey we have, we call life, and we take it so seriously and making such a difference. I see it as like a trip to an amusement park. And guess what? There's probably people that go to amusement park and don't have the greatest time. Humbug, this is just crappy. Don't like it. Too crowded, too this, too that. And there's others who make the most of that amusement park journey. And I don't know. I know that this whole choice thing, but in doing this, I see there's people that choose this hell on earth or heaven on earth. Same situation, but different interpretation, similar to good and bad. Either my life is hell or heaven in this journey. So I know this flesh will be gone, snap of hopefully many decades from now, but it's not in my hands. But while I'm here, I'm doing my best to follow the path that I feel called to do.
They're creating their own hell.
Mm-hmm.
But gosh,